The US election is over. Trump has won. This is of momentous significance to the United States and the world. Trump was a bad president last time. He will be a bad president this time. We do not know just how bad his government will be, but we know it will be bad. We can make some guesses based on what Trump has himself said. Trump wants to increase US support for Israel. Israel will be held to even lower standards as they continue their campaign of ethnic cleansing and mass murder. Trump wants to throw Ukraine to the dogs. This will reward Putin and encourage wars of conquest. Trump will appease Putin and embolden aggressive regimes everywhere. Trump will appoint Elon Musk to oversee massive job cuts to fund tax cuts for the wealthy. Trump will probably appoint Robert Kennedy Jr. to destroy US health policy. Trump will begin work filling the government with loyalists to ensure that nobody can challenge his will. Trump will attempt to deport millions of people. In doing so, he will bring economic devastation and political conflict to the United States. Trump will try to deport protesters, destroying the First Amendment. And these are just a few of the things we can expect. Why would anyone vote for this? To reject the establishment? I hate the establishment, but some things are worse than the establishment. In 1933, the Germans voted to get rid of the establishment. What they got was far worse. Trump hates being compared to Hitler. I don't know what he expects. When you call your political opponents vermin and accuse immigrants of poisoning the blood of the nation, these comparisons are inevitable. You don't get to cry when people make these comparisons. Why would anyone vote for this wretched man? The answer is false narratives. People vote in line with false narratives. They often have honourable intentions, but their ignorance means they live in the wrong world. And so their honourable intentions elect an immoral leader. They claim that Trump is anti-war. Trump increased drone strikes significantly and made their use less transparent. Trump pardoned Blackwater mercenaries who massacred Iraqi civilians in cold blood. Trump continued US involvement in Afghanistan and Syria. Trump appointed war hawks like John Bolton to his cabinet. Trump wanted to torture the enemies of the USA. Trump wants to target the family members of terrorists. Trump had a high-ranking Iranian general assassinated. Trump has allegedly suggested military action against Mexico, Russia, and China. Trump isn't anti-war, yet millions voted for him on the basis of this outrageous lie. And there are other lies too. They claim that Trump would defend free speech. One of Trump's campaign promises is to deport people for protesting. Trump has sued people over jokes. Trump has suggested imprisoning people for burning the US flag. Trump has suggested terminating the Constitution. Trump despises free speech. Yet people have voted for him on the basis of this outrageous lie. And there are yet more lies. They claim he will address growing US debt. Last time he was in office, he increased debt massively. He has been campaigning on massive tax cuts and increased military spending. That increases the debt massively. He wants to build an Iron Dome air defense system all around the United States. That is the epitome of wasteful spending. A stupid white elephant project that has no strategic value. The Iron Dome is for intercepting homemade rockets and artillery shells, not ballistic missiles or fighter jets. The United States has no need for it. But Trump doesn't care, because he is a moron who has never given 5 minutes of thought to one of his policies. We don't know how bad Trump's second presidency will be, but we know it will be bad. It is built on lies and dishonesty. And he was bad last time, and could easily be even worse this time. His supporters will smugly mock our frustration with the election result. Trump's victory is as bad for them as it is for us. They will have to live in the same chaotic, cruel, stupid authoritarian world that we do. The difference between us and them is not that they are winners and we are losers. The difference between us and them is that we know an enemy when we see one. They lick the boot off a man as he stomps them into the ground. Because that is what Trump does. He hates freedom and democracy. He has made that very clear. He tried to rig the last election. He called a Georgia state official and told them to find votes for him. He accused Mike Pence of being too honest for failing to go through with his fake electors scheme. And yet people support this man. There are even people in New Zealand who support this man. People who regarded Ardern as too authoritarian. Ardern is a libertarian compared to Trump. Trump deprived millions of bodily autonomy with his Supreme Court appointments. Trump wants to deport and imprison people for protesting. Trump wants to terminate the Constitution. Trump tried to rig the 2020 election. And yet these morons who regard Ardern as an authoritarian line up to lick Trump's boot. It is embarrassing. And that is not even mentioning the man's personal flaws. Trump is a sex offender. He bragged about grabbing people without consent. He is a close friend of Epstein's. He is so bad that every flaw gets overlooked as another comes into view. Trump makes our right-wing government look amazing. Luxon and Seymour are great people compared to Trump. They have massive shortcomings, but at least they believe in liberal values and believe in basic reality. That alone makes them infinitely more virtuous than their disgusting American counterpart. However, it should be noted that Donald Trump is no excuse to settle for mediocrity here. But we must remember how much worse things can get, and we must ensure that Trump's hideous form of politics never comes here. I don't give the ACT Party credit for much, but today I will give them some credit. The ACT Party predicted a Trump victory, and they were right. The ACT Party has suggested that we must spend more on our national defence in this increasingly dangerous world. They are right about this too. The USA is a less reliable global power than ever before. Trump's victory will make the world a more dangerous place. Trump's recklessness may provoke greater conflict. He has allegedly suggested military action against a number of powerful nations. The United States will become a less reliable ally. The United States will become a more irrational power. Bad actors will be emboldened. We must not take our security for granted. We need military spending and economic reform. We need to ready our country for existence within a more dangerous world. And we must prepare to fend off the cultural tide of right-wing authoritarianism that may one day come to our shores.